Welcome back, everyone, to the Triumph of the Tusk. In our last session, I don't want to call you adventurers, because you're kind of not really adventurers right now. You're just people. You're guys. You're here to help. Uh, our people continue to spend their days at Torrentmoot, the large gathering called by Ardax the White-Hair, leader of the Empty Hand Hold, to improve diplomatic relations between both the different holds here in Belkzen as well as foreign powers, both nations and rulers, as well as merchants and various mercenary organizations as well, wanting to bring together as many groups as possible and start to destroy the pervading image among the rest of the inner sea that orcs are uncultured savages. So far, the event has been going well. It's been going on for just over a week at this point in time. This will last, of course, the 3 weeks up until the actual deluge begins when the waters come out of the northern mountains and flood the road in the region, which brings aurochs and plant life and allows the entirety of Belkzen to survive for another year. You all have enjoyed your time after arriving and getting to meet one another. You have gone and participated in a large hunt. You have returned from that hunt and were the first to solve a large and intricate puzzle box that Ardax had commissioned. You have participated in the time honored word wrestling contests and built up your reputation that way. And most recently, you have resolved an issue of teeth going missing around the camp that no one really brought attention to until Gnarsh awoke this morning with his favored Tusk gone right from his mouth while he slept. As you all investigated, you managed to find it was not one, but two different gangs of tooth fairies that were in this area and were seemingly competing with one another to steal fangs and teeth from around Torrentmoot in order to prove themselves better. Aside from these larger events, of course, you've had the time to relax, chill out, talk and get to know to just various people around here. There are visiting dignitaries from the Hobgoblin Nation of Opric. There are multiple different holds. There are Knights of Lastwall and members of the Pathfinder Society here, all of whom have their own stories and reasons for being here and aren't necessarily a bad idea to get on your side. At this point, your reputation in Torrentmoot is quite high, to the point that should you guys seek out a actual larger scale meeting with Ardax at some point, he'll probably be quite receptive to it. Well, you've also then built great rapport with Kestrel, the leader of the Knights of Lastwall, begun trying to get to know Grothlin, the sole member of the Gut Ripper Hold that's here, and you've done a little investigating into Davor, the Dromar member of the Pathfinder Society that's keeping relatively to himself, but is still enjoying his time here, it seems. Made new friends, namely Drawn Flameblade, who journeyed with you on that first hunt, but has since headed out with a majority of his hold into the Badlands to party a few days ago. So, all of that being said, it is a little after noon on Wheel Day, the 22nd of Desnus in the year 4724 AR. You all have just finished fighting off the Tooth Fairies, having easily destroyed the smaller gang up to the north and dealt with a more challenging fight here to the south. What is it that you would like to do at this point?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Gwynne and just be like, I hate tooth fairies. While the
Agreed.
gods above and the gods below, they need to die. All of them.
I'm gonna heal myself.
When I saw him trying to like rip your head open with a can opener, did he get any teeth out of you? I can try and
Unfortunately,
see if I can heal.
I'm gonna hold my teeth.
Jericho, if I recall correctly, they did not get any of my teeth.
I don't believe
Okay.
they
Well,
got one of your teeth, Zool, but they got one of Gwyn's teeth.
Yes.
I was also on the other side of the camp fighting, so all I did was see like from a distance them trying to rip your head off.
Yeah, F
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, and you can see the
Doesn't
bloody
appreciate it.
mess that is Gwyn's mouth, where one of his teeth is very clearly missing that Gwynn is now holding in his gauntleted hand.
Yup.
Gnarsh is currently like playing around with the blade that's been made out of his tusk that the Tooth Fairy leader was using, and seemingly having a bit of an existential crisis of does he try and get it healed back into his mouth because that's his favorite tusk, but it's also kind of a cool dagger.
Uh,
I'm gonna heal either whoever looks worse, so or Gwyn.
I can battle medicine myself, so if you wanna,
That was Gwyn.
or I can medicine
So that-
myself. I mean, I can tell you medicine both of us.
Crow, you
Alright,
wake
I'll
up
go,
from sleeping in real late at this point.
Jericho, would the heal spell, like if I were to stick Gnarsh's tooth back into his jaw and then cast the heal spell on it, would it reattach the tooth?
It would, yes. The if you have lost a tooth to a tooth fairy, then as long as you hold the tooth in your mouth and heal for 1 hit point, it will reattach the tooth. With Gnarsh's tooth, you'd have to sort of break off the handle first, and that's sort of what he's debating: is does he break off the handle and get it healed, or does he keep it as a dagger?
So you're gonna heal him and then I'll heal you. Do you want to do that?
Sure. Well, let me see. Gnarsh, do you want me to reattach your tooth?
Yeah, let's go with it. He'll
We can
snap
always
the
knock it out
handle
later.
off.
We can always knock it out later and make it into a dagger. Don't worry.
Once I'm putting it back in, this tusk ain't coming back out of my mouth again. You hear me? If it
All right,
does,
Gnarsh.
my foot's going up someone's ass. Doesn't
Well, I
matter
think
if they're the one who took my fang or not.
I think we killed all the fairies, so we should be good, bud.
All right, Gnarsh, put it in there how you want it, and then I'll like hold my hand up, and you'll see the vitality magic start to emanate from it.
And he just like holds open a lip and then holds the tusk in place.
And I cast a second rank heal spell into it to
Awesome.
reattach it to its jaw.
And
so
Rog, who is
that's
that
your
healing
12.
for?
That's for Zoe. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
12 health back to you, Zool, and you don't have to actually roll healing if you don't want to. Gnarsh only needs the 1 point to reattach the tooth. And so very soon it reattaches and he starts working his jaw a little bit. It's a little tender, but feels about right. Thanks for that.
No problem.
Spits off to the side and his tooth comes a little loose immediately.
Oh, hey, Gnarsh, let it settle.
Takes a minute to set. I got you. Yup.
All right.
Like holds it in place and just waits for it to heal.
I can try to weld it in there with Tempest Surge, a surgical strike.
Oh. By the way, Straz, just for future reference, you should see on the left side of Foundry in the tools a little button that looks like a steaming coffee mug. If you hit that, it will put a little message in chat that you're stepping away and keep a little icon, and then you can just hit it when you're back. So you don't have to type out a full message if you don't want to when you gotta step away.
Oh, that's cool. That's a new one for me.
Makes it nice and fun. And makes it a little easier to keep track if I happen to miss the message, because there will be a symbol to remind me.
And Jericho, you said this is like 4 in the afternoon?
At this point, it's just afternoon. So
Oh, it's
this
just afternoon,
effectively,
okay.
you guys did very well on your searching and tracking down of the fairies, so this only took up your morning block for today. You still have the entirety of the afternoon ahead of you.
I'd like to remind the party then of some progress we made last time we were here, because other than communicating, we also made progress in regards to like who likes what.
Yep.
So I don't have it for 3 people though on my notes. Gressel, the last wall, she prefers warfare lore. In regards to getting on her side. Grothlin prefers mercantile, heraldry, warfare, and lores. So those 3, and then you actually told us diplomacy, but it's a little higher. I think it's 18. And
Yeah.
then Devore is orc lore, or the Torrentmoot gathering itself.
Yes.
Those are the 3 that you had. We had one, I guess, in our roles.
And specifically, heraldry, mercantile, and warfare lore are all the best skills for Kestrel. With Grothlin, the best skill was Belkzen lore, followed by orc lore.
The one time I didn't take warfare lore on my character.
Yeah.
What a
The
shame!
One time!
Same.
The one goddamn time!
So Belkzen or orc lore are both best for Grothlin and Devore, and then I believe we checked and no one has heraldry or mercantile lore, so warfare lore is the best with Kestrel.
Got it.
Sounds good.
Of course, you can do other skills. You can try and discover the next best skills. You can try and discover what sort of resistances and weaknesses they might have. You only know the absolute best skill to influence them with at this point in time.
Yeah, those are the ones we figured out as a group.
So, all of that being said, now, I want to give you guys the opportunity to do so because you did not do so last session, I don't believe. You killed all the tooth fairies, but you have not yet actually searched their belongings and spaces where they lived to see if there was anything other than Gnarsh's tooth left behind. If you guys wished to do that, you're more than welcome to do so.
Yeah, Gwen, you want to search the southern one with me?
Rog will go north to where we did it last time,
Sounds good.
and we'll ask Glasha to come along too.
Yeah, Glasha will absolutely head up north with you. And also, anyone who is sickened at this point is free to get rid of that condition. I think it was just Glasha, but
yeah.
Gwynne,
The North
you
group
can get
was
rid of
also the
persistent
original
damage.
Tooth Fairies, right?
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
The North group, I think, was the original Tooth
That is
Fairies that
correct.
lived here.
Yeah, and then the
Jericho.
one in the south were brought by one of the holds on accident.
The tooth fairies for the south, they were like right here, correct?
Down around here, yeah. There's some
Alright,
crates sort of stashed on that ledge that they were hiding in. And anyone who'd like to is welcome to go ahead and give me a perception check to search around their respective areas and see what you can
I'll
find.
go to the north one as well.
Sure.
Blind
Crow,
GM?
I'm actually going to have you doing something else here in a minute, if you wouldn't mind sticking around by the campfire. My apologies.
Blind GM perceptions?
I'm sorry?
Blind GM perceptions or public?
Yep.
Before you roll that, may I aid?
Sure.
Gwen,
Yeah.
check?
If you'd rather
And mine
aid
can be
than
public.
roll.
Yeah, my aid can be public, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it's just perception like Gwen's.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sirree. And,
Oh wait, we have that. I keep forgetting we have that
got the fun
aid
macro.
Yeah, where is it? Avoid notice.
It's very fitting, Crow, for the fact that you're by the campfire right now with that roll.
Where is it? Oh, there we go. Perception. Yep.
All right.
Aw.
We're getting the bad rolls out of the way to start today. Good to see. Good to see. So no bonus for you, Gwynne. That's just going to be a flat perception for you.
Yep.
I tried, Gwen. I'm sorry.
Well,
Gwynne, please re-roll. Since you're doing the actual perception check, it needs to be blind.
yep.
So please try again.
Jericho, have you gone over the new hero point rule with this group yet?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, and it's in the homebrew rules. If you haven't read the homebrew rules, go do it.
Okay.
All right. Gwyn and Rog, between the two of you, looking into the sort of layers of each of these mobs of tooth fairies where they had been staying, you do come to find a number of teeth, likely that belong to the people here at Torrentmoot who have lost them, but also just generally a number of like gold fillings and small bits of jewelry that would be attached to some tusks and teeth that probably have a little bit of value on their own, probably totaling up to around 32 gold. And Gwyn specifically, you find a elixir, definitely alchemical based on the symbol on the glass, and it's filled with this sort of pink liquid, though you don't inherently know what it is.
Okay.
Does anyone in the
I
party
think-
have a alchemist toolkit?
Negative.
Don't think so.
Because if not, you guys are never identifying that.
Would the merchant down below sell that?
Oh, absolutely. You guys could certainly pick one up if you wanted.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It's
Um,
always the funny choice in games. Do you want to pay to have your alchemical items identified, or do you want to just buy an alchemist toolkit and try and identify them yourself?
Sweet. I'm gonna go buy an alchemist toolkit because I think I'm still the only person trained in crafting.
Nice. Yeah, nice and simple. The toolkit's only 3 gold if you've got that.
Think so?
So
Yeah, I've got 18 gold still.
awesome.
Hey.
And just to make it easier, if you'd like, I'm happy to put the toolkit just in the party stash so we know you guys have it, and you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about your.
I only
boat
build
being-
friendships. I don't build things.
Yeah. Jericho, have the carrion eaters arrived for the tooth fairy corpses yet?
At this point, no.
Okay.
And in a place like Torrentmoot, while violence isn't common, it does occur most of the time. People are just going to do body disposal on their own, as opposed to leaving it for the carrion eaters. Some of the guards have approached, asked a few questions about the whole situation, and are beginning to like pick up and shovel the corpses into bags. You see a couple
Yeah.
other guards like down south that are setting up a campfire to just cremate all the bodies.
Okay.
Aggie's gonna wants to put up a sign that says, "If you had lost jewelry since the start of the event, please describe what it is, and we may have we may be able to return it to you."
Sure.
I don't want to just ask people, "Is this yours?" Because that's just
Yeah.
easy for people to say, "Oh yeah, that's mine."
Are you advertising
yeah.
just like teeth as well, or just jewelry?
Teeth too. If they can describe their teeth uniquely, and I'm sure with orcs they can, I will offer all of them back to their owners, especially at such a low value. I don't care that much. If this was like 10,000 gold, it'd be different, but
Can you pick your tooth out of this lineup?
yeah. And then jewelry, they have to give us like a pre-description.
Right. Jewelry is definitely going to be easier for them to pick out.
Yeah.
Teeth is less easy since there aren't a ton of mirrors around in Belkzen before now, so most people.
I'm sure it's like a puzzle piece though. Like if someone thinks
Yeah.
it's theirs, we can kind of.
Oh yeah, like the teeth you could just sort of have in a pile and be like, if you think it's yours, come try it on.
Yeah.
And the jewelry, you more leave it to people to describe to see if you actually have it. Sure. Are you planning like to sell the rest of the jewelry if like whatever's unclaimed by the end of the day? Do you want to just like keep this going on?
I will keep it going on. To the point where if I had to, I'd give it to one of Ardex's like underlings to make sure it gets to the right people.
Okay.
If I can't do it within a few days,
Yeah.
I'm trying to build as much goodwill for us in this group as possible.
Absolutely.
I'm not ashamed to make it obvious.
Love to see that. Most of this would be cheap enough that like people would consider this to be your spoils for taking care of the tooth fairies. So whatever you do with it is entirely up to you. The few people who would actively go to like see if something they cared about was among it would even still pay you for it because, again, they don't want to be seen as beggars or taking a handout effectively. They're like, well, this belongs to you now, so I'll buy it back from you. I don't just want it back.
Makes sense.
And a
I know
lot of
some
it
specific
is
values.
also from like what the Tooth Fairies took before Torrentmoot set up, because it's not like both
Yeah.
of these are brand new gangs, so a lot of it won't have owners found here. But we can say you're sort of holding on to it for a few days, and will eventually
Yeah.
be able to transfer it all for relative equivalent of its actual value.
That sounds perfect.
All right. Now, while all of that is going on, Zul and Gwynne are looking at bodies alongside Rog and Galasha. Some of the guards are taking the corpses off to be burned. Crow, you have had your morning a bit different, as you have had someone else who's sort of taken up your attention for a chunk of time. You slept in a little bit, slept through almost the roaring of Gnarsh after losing his tooth because Guru just didn't bother to wake you up with that. And, woke up a little late, saw that everyone else was sort of taking care of what was going on, and soon after were approached by another attendee who struck up a conversation. Don't quite have a picture for them yet, but Strays, would you please describe your character?
He is about a 30-year-old human, fit monk. Looks very agile in plain monk robes, nothing fancy. Just looks like a traveler.
Hello, friend. Welcome.
Oh, welcome. Good to meet you.
I am Crow Hungry. I try to make sure to welcome all newcomers here, as all newcomers are welcome. And what brings you? Are you here to take part in the festivities?
Well, I heard they were calling the moot, and it seemed like an important place to be.
Hey, it is an important thing. It is a time where we can all learn to work together for the greater good. We all have reasons to be here, and a lot of those reasons are so we can all thrive for a betterment.
That's exactly why I came. It's important that everybody comes together and fights against the coming danger. And I'm here to help. There's a lot of opportunity to grow stronger.
Hail for me, the tribes.
No, I'm not really from the tribes, but I heard what was happening here, and like I said, it was a great opportunity to grow stronger, and that's definitely a motivation to come here.
Strength is something you search for. There are some here that look for strength, and most definitely you will gain strength through the trials, of life, really. But yes, welcome. Let me get you some food and make sure that now I don't know if we have any open tents left or if you have your own tent, but I can look into that.
Oh, here by the fire's fine if that's all there is.
Yes, but if you have a tent or a bed or a bedroll or sleep bag, you can go over to this area over here is where a lot of the newcomers who are not part of any tribes are. But Otherwise, we can try to find you some accommodation.
Oh, that would be fine. I'm sure I can get a bedroll when I asked the DM for one, because I joined so late in the campaign I didn't really get
You can always talk
The
to the
adventurer's
merchants
pack.
over there. Arion does carry some extra supplies if you need it.
that works for me. Oh, look at that! I have a backpack full of stuff. I
I
have
love
a
the
ba-
adventurer's pack. It's the most basic of basics.
You gotta
I
have
could
it.
not afford it when I made my character because I wanted one particular thing.
Wow. Yeah.
Not
Trust.
having 1.5 gold remaining for the adventurer's pack, absolute tragedy.
Yeah, but it was worth it in my opinion. I did buy a bedroll though.
The most important item. Do you have a water skin?
I'm
do.
pretty sure I bought a water
You
skin.
did. You specifically got the backpack, the water skin, and the bedroll. Everything else, useless.
That is what I was able to afford.
All right. So, as Crow and Strays, you've been sort of meeting each other this morning, having a bit of a back and forth. Crow, you begin to notice as the rest of your group, allies, compatriots, wrestling buddies, you notice they sort of begin to finish their cleanup and searching as a number of people around camp have begun having their lunch for the day, and so the rest of the afternoon is up for whatever you guys would like to do. For those of you who weren't here last week, what we effectively determined is during these periods where there isn't a major event that needs to be taken care of, the days are going to be broken down into 2 blocks of time, morning and afternoon. So if you want to, during those blocks, try to influence anyone, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to try and earn income or do anything else, you're welcome to do that as well. So, as this afternoon block arrives, what you all would like to do is entirely up to you.
Looks like there's still some people that are hurt. If they like, I can remedy that if they want to come hang out by the fire.
Yeah, Zul's gonna walk on over to Crow. And Crow, when you see Zul, he's just the stupid fucking tooth. He is just still worked up over the tooth fairies. He sees you, he's like, "Hey Crow, where you been?"
I was talking to our newcomer here.
Oh. Well, hello. My name is Zul Thraka. You can just call me Zul. Welcome to the Torrentmoot, and you missed out on the tooth fairies. I hate them.
Hey, Gwynne,
In the time while everybody gathers, I will cast Garden of Healing, and I will
Fantastic.
upkeep it until everyone's at full.
Yeah.
hello, nice to meet you. We have another human. We have 2 other humans here, Gwynne and Cressel. Do you
No.
know them? Do you know those other humans as well?
Yes, actually, all humans know each other. It's a
Well, yeah.
psychic thing.
Well,
This
that's
isn't
why
Gate
that's
Walkers,
why I
hold
asked.
up.
That's exactly what I heard. This is why I asked. Obviously.
Here is 1 minute of healing from a second-rank Garden of Healing for you all. What a fun spell.
Jesus. That's a lot of healing.
And 20d4. As long as
God
it's
damn.
saved
Better
per
than my
minute.
And
heal
then I
spell.
can refocus for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Animist kinda funky, not gonna lie.
Animist,
Well-
awesome.
I've seen him wrestle a bear, wrestle a
I
giant.
actually do it with the help of Guru.
Well, I heard him wrestle. I heard the story about the bear, but I believed it after I saw him wrestle those creatures that we got jumped when we did the hunt, and then he
Yeah.
puts out 44 healing.
Can we not
I
tell
wrestled
the bear
that
wrestling
bear
story
down
again, please?
till it's submitted to my greater wrestling skills.
I didn't believe it at first, but I saw it in live in action.
Yes, Crow, he took the creature by the neck, lifted it up, and pile drove it into the dirt so much its neck cracked.
So this is how the stories get over exaggerated. I see.
Guru's
I heard he
already.
lifted the bear with one hand.
It was a cold night.
Guru's got his
The
paws
creatures
in his little
came.
face. Just like, please stop. I thought we said we weren't going to tell this story again.
No, there's a newcomer. He needs to know the story.
He doesn't, though.
Oh,
It's
Guru,
all
you're
part of
no
the symbols,
fun.
it's a bear rug.
But let me finish the story first.
Grog had a plan before the tooth fairies were coming around originally.
Sure, what's your plan?
After we do our little group thing here, he was gonna go back to and try to talk to Devor.
Okay, so we've got awesome. We got Rog wants to influence Devor. Fantastic.
I do
So-
escape before the bear story comes out.
Guru goes with you, probably.
Like, come on, buddy. Go right on my shoulder.
All right.
Jericho, has anyone studied Devor to find his
You guys have effectively done one successful study on each of the major influence targets, and you've chosen their best skills for each of them. So with
Okay.
Devor, so far you know that Belkson lore and Orc lore, to sort of talk about local culture and share notes, is the best skill to influence him with. You can always do more discovering if you want to learn the next best skills, if you want to try and find what would give you benefits to your role or potential penalties to your role.
Okay, could I do the potential benefits or penalties to a roll study action?
Sure. It's just, you say you're discovering is what you're doing.
Okay, yeah, discovering. And I can use orc lore for this, correct?
No, not for discovery. Discovery is more diplomacy, perception, or society for Devor. Because it's more like observing him and also sort of talking to the people nearby to learn about him a bit.
Okay.
So orc lore would be if you wanted to just directly influence him.
Okay, I'll do a perception check then.
All right.
Here we go.
Strays, that is very funny.
It's a
All right.
wild thing.
And what would you like to learn about him, Zool? Next best skill, resistances, or weaknesses?
Weaknesses.
Okay. Yeah, talking with some other people around who have spoken with Devor throughout the last couple of days since he's been here, he does sort of keep to himself, but others have initiated conversations themselves. He always tries to sort of circle the conversation back to heredity and lineage, the story of your ancestors, effectively, where you come from. So, if you probably were to share your own stories and probably deal with the mountain of questions he would ask you following up, that would give you a circumstance bonus to your check to influence him.
Okay.
So
that's
that'll be a
my
+2 if it's just general, but if any of you have orc ancestors, you will get a +3 instead, which I believe everyone aside from Straws and Gwynne could take advantage of that.
One of my spirits was an orc, or actually a half orc. Yeah, I could talk about
are
his
an orc.
existence, and he'd probably love that.
Probably, in all honesty.
He forgets that he's an orc. Oh my god.
Ronk, if you want to go ahead and give me your influence check for him for this time period, you're welcome
Yeah,
to do
but he
so.
likes like old orcs, and what's better than a dead half orc?
I'm gonna do my orc lore.
Sounds good. Yeah. And if you would like to take advantage of this weakness as... well, actually, I'd say no, since Zool is sort of learning about it as you're trying to influence him, so you probably won't be able to try and take advantage of that weakness during this influence test.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Sounds fair. This is
This is
sorry,
public.
Is this blind? Public, got it.
Discovering is blind, but actually influencing is public. And that is a very good roll. That is a regular success. So spending the better part of the afternoon actively speaking with him, talking about the local culture, sharing some of your notes on the region, and perhaps even talking a bit about the Storm Screamers, is definitely an interesting subject for him. And he is happy to both have his ear talked off and talk your own ear off for hours throughout the day.
Cool. Yeah, I'm the only one from the Storm Screamers, so that makes sense.
Yeah. He is happy to learn what he can from you and sort of share his own stories. He is very much actually not from Belkzen. He spent much of his early life in Absalom, so it is a vastly different sort of experience to grow up in such a populous city, and he is happy to share some of his own life experience if you're at all interested.
Yeah, he looks like a half-orc. Is that
He
correct?
is. Yep.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to try to put the bias aside that I think we all naturally have, the fact that he's a Pathfinder society, and try to like hear him out as like the person.
Right.
So I definitely want to hear about all that.
He's a person first, Pathfinder agent second.
Well, an orc first, then a human. Then
You're sorry, you're right. Orc first, then human, then Pathfinder agent. All right. For the rest of you, what are you doing with your afternoon block?
Oh, well, I start going to the next person in the camp. I tell him the story of him fighting 2 bears at once.
No.
Then I go to the next person. I tell him how he fought 3 bears at once.
No, we don't need to telephone the bear story. That's awful.
Telephone.
And the legend continues.
Oh no.
What kind of check do I have to do for this? Let's see.
You
Society?
know what? Yeah, either I'm gonna say deception
Totally
or
untrained.
society, maybe.
It's the
He's
same.
said so much. This might be a bad thing. Oh no.
I'm going to allow this if it goes well to boost the party's reputation.
That would be amazing.
Ah, goodness gracious.
I wish to be associated with strong people. What can I say?
God damn it, Crow's becoming a mini fucking celebrity now.
Bro is strong.
As you met these people today, and they already started regaling you with tales of their strength. And so, of course, you take the better part of the afternoon going around, meeting the other people in camp, sharing drinks with them, and always casually bringing up this story. And it just sort of gets naturally embellished as the day goes on. It isn't always you taking it from 2 bears to 3 bears, but it'll be someone else who then talks about how they heard Crow lost an arm, beat one of the bears to death with the torn off arm, and then hand stitched it back on to get feeling back.
You can still see the faint line.
Right. So the rumors definitely spread a bit. It's not going to be enough to necessarily build your guys' overall reputation. I hate that. But I think your next attempt to influence anyone, Crow is going to get a circumstance bonus from this.
Nice.
Do we know if Kirk has any? Do we know what he likes to talk about?
Crick Erblin.
Rick.
Let me check my notes. They are not necessarily a full influence target, like some of the others are, but they are a representative of one of the holds. They are the main representative of the Bloodied Gauntlet, which is what Gnarsh is a part of, and they were the ones who accidentally brought some of the Tooth Fairies.
Is it
Gnarsh.
Lacan also?
I'm sorry? No,
Lacan.
Lakon and Tashki are from Death's Head.
Alright, so I should be talking to Gnarsh.
You can talk to Gnarsh. Crick would be who you want to talk to if you wanted to talk to, like, the highest member of the Bloodied Gauntlet.
Okay.
Gnarsh was
So
just the
I was
person who
correct.
lost his favorite Tusk this morning.
Okay, so yeah, Kirk is the one that I want to.
Mhm.
But we don't know
Yeah, if
what
you
he
wanted,
likes.
if you wanted to spend this afternoon, you could absolutely give me perception or diplomacy or society to try and figure out what it is she likes.
I'll go with perception.
Sure. And this should be blind, please.
I'm sorry, what was her hold again?
The bloodied gauntlet. Unfortunately, Crow, asking people around throughout the afternoon, you aren't able to get much on what might be the best skill to influence her with. You do learn some general things about her. For lore purposes, those of you who aren't overtly familiar with the Bloodied Gauntlet, they were a hold that, for a very long time, were dedicated to the god of war, Gorum. Gorum is McFucking dead right now, so
Well, wait. Well, has that happened
that
at
has
this point in
happened.
history?
Oh yes, the War of the Immortals is technically ongoing. Gorum's death happened about 2 months ago in this continuity. Maybe a little longer than that. I think I have my. I've got my intro notes here. Give me a minute. It was 2 months ago. God damn, I'm good at this.
As someone who was an ex-follower of Gorum, yeah, they're sure fucking dead.
So the Bloodied Gauntlet is a bit listless right now, directionless, splintered a bit, but a large number of them have chosen to follow Ardax at this point because he does have a vision for what the future of Belkzen looks like, and they want to see what supporting that would bring them. Asking around about Crick, you don't necessarily learn a ton about how you could best go about talking with her, but you do learn just from some people about who she is. She is relatively outspoken and charming, but has a very dark sense of humor. But she does also have a bit of a friendly rivalry ongoing with Kestrel and the Knights of Lastwall, and has been swapping like war stories with them quite a bit over the last week or so since Torrentmoot began.
So, all right.
Ugh.
So, all right, Gwynne, what's your afternoon looking like?
Good question. So I know you mentioned that there's the three major ones to speak with, and they give us something later on. That was
Yeah, so all of the major influence are sort of important figures that will be just generally beneficial to have on your side. The first influence
remember what
threshold you
the-
reach with them is more so just going to build your influence in camp. The second threshold will typically provide a reward of some kind, while more so just also confirming them as an ally who will actively help you if necessary at some other point in the story.
Understood.
So, Kestrel, you guys reached the first threshold with at 3 points. You have not reached the final threshold with anyone.
Alright, so I will continue to speak with Kestrel because they're the only one I have good skills with.
Fantastic.
Because I remember from last time we mentioned that religion was not a bad skill.
It was not for certain. Like discussing the God's Reign, discussing her own worship of Sarenrae, she is happy to discuss religion in a number of different ways. So you can absolutely use religion.
Am I the last person for the afternoon? I don't
Yes.
remember. Fuck. Alright. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go speak with Kestrel again.
Sure.
And probably start discussing their belief in Sarenrae, because I know Gwyn's got a weird pseudo pantheon they worship of a mishmash of gods, with one of them already being dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't need to talk about that too much.
just because Gwynne was a champion of Gorum originally.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we're a deity A-list champion, sort of, kind of.
Oops.
Oh,
Yup.
Gwynne must be pissed.
Granted, Gwynne hasn't been a champion in pure role in like 50-something years, but here we are. So yeah,
He's
I'd
doing his
probably
best.
yeah, they're doing their best. So yeah, they would probably be talking to Kestrel about religion and stuff like that.
Absolutely. You are welcome to go ahead and give me that skill check.
Okay. And this is blind, correct?
No. The actual influence check can be public. If you're discovering things about them, that's blind.
Got it. Okay. Wow, that's bad.
That is a failure.
We're re-rolling it.
All right.
It won't be worse. There we go. Thank God. Not
Much
worse.
better. That will be a success, and that will bring you up to influence 5 with them. As you spend the better part of the afternoon into early evening, taking some time to actively chat with Kestrel and even some of the other knights about their direct faith. Saren Ray, Iomade, the God's Reign might get brought up, but if they see you sort of struggling at the mention of Gorham's death, they'd probably back off of that topic.
Gwynne's actually not doesn't back off from that.
Okay.
They're very open about it because, again, they still have this group that they worship.
Sure.
Gorham was just the primary.
The head of the pantheon.
Yeah.
The Zeus, if you will.
Yeah, the head of Gwynne's beliefs kind of thing.
Sure. So they're happy to talk to you about that, and also to talk about Arasni's situation, if you're at all interested in that, with her having stolen her freedom from Geb and managed to lead a group of insurgents and convince the Whispering Tyrant to release her from lichdom such that she could ascend herself to true godhood.
Okay, interesting. I don't know who Arasni is, but we'll roll with it.
Great deity.
Being released from lichdom does not sound like they're going to be a great deity.
So Arasni, for those of you who don't know, was originally, I believe, the herald of Eredin before she died, and Iomade became his new herald. She fell before the Whispering Tyrant, and the Whispering Tyrant captured her, tortured her, killed her. Some Knights of Last Wall recovered her body, and then Geb himself snuck on over and stole her corpse and reanimated it, and forced her to be queen of the nation of Geb for a very long time. She recently managed to escape and tricked the Whispering Tyrant into destroying the magic that bound her to lichdom. And through the fact that she was worshipped while in Geb and beyond, she has ascended to a true deity at this point, known as the Unyielding.
Oh, interesting.
So, she
right.
doesn't particularly like being worshipped as a god and doesn't really care about her believers most of the time, but is effectively a paragon of resilience and determination to some people.
This might be a new deity into Gwynne's pantheon.
She is the one who has replaced Gorham as the 20th deity in the core pantheon now.
Okay.
But they're happy to talk with you about that whole shtick and everything going on there. So, Gorham's fall, Arasni's rise, how the pantheon is changing and what that might mean for the world. They will talk with you long into the night about that. And that will sort of bring us to an end this wheel day. Did anyone have anything they'd like to sort of do in the evening? There's not really time to do a full influence or discovery round, but if you wanted to just chat with anyone in particular for a bit, chat amongst yourselves, do anything else, you are welcome to do so during this time period.
Zool's gonna, kind of nudge Crow and Just be like, I tried using your way of talking to Goltha. It didn't work.
Oh, don't give up. Just try harder.
Yeah. I'll try that next time.
There you go. I pat you on the back. That's the spirit you need. You know, speaking of spirits. And
One.
What a pivot.
Jericho, can I attempt my carving even though I'm untrained in crafting?
Sure. You restarted, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to restart. The first attempt was utter crap.
Give me another crafting check.
I have a 0 in crafting, everybody. This is great.
Oh boy.
Good luck.
Nope.
Oh yeah, baby.
You're supposed to craft. You're supposed to carve the wood, not your hand.
I know, right?
You completely miss the wood and just slice into the palm of your hand.
Who is he? Me?
No, because he didn't stab his thigh.
True.
After that, after he like cuts himself, Zul's just gonna be like,
Carving's not really for you, huh?
oh no, Zul is determined. He will carve this SOB.
Level 5. Instead of going to expert in any skill, we're going to trained in crafting. All right. Anyone else have anything they'd like to do during the evening tonight? Fantastic.
Just tell stories and
Yeah.
have a good time.
Yeah, there's no
Keep
need
telling
to,
Guru. No, they want to hear this story.
Have you heard how they're telling it now? No, it needs to stop. You've gone too far.
Ah,
And you,
I'd like to hear the new version.
new person,
That might be exciting.
don't enable this, please.
How many bears is it this time?
It was 7 the last time I heard.
That is the story. That is the story.
Yes.
It's in no way accurate, and I don't need to hear it being told as such anymore.
Guru, you're so funny. Yeah, have a little bit of ale.
I'm going to drown myself in this ale mug. Just you watch. And Guru will go drunk on ale tonight. All right. Well, if that's everything for today, then you all are welcome to go ahead and take a long rest as the next morning rises to greet you all. I always love that I hit, bring it to sunrise, advance to dawn, and it goes bet 5 a.m. Because that's when sane people wake up.
Because that's. We're all sane here, everybody. Jericho said it first.
Hell yeah.
And for anyone who didn't catch the sarcasm in my voice, oh well. All right, but a new day brings a new morning, brings new possibilities and opportunities. What would you all like to try and accomplish today?
Could I try to influence Devore, now
Sure.
that I've studied and
Yeah, now that
all
you
that
know some weaknesses of his that could make it a bit easier to talk to him.
yeah, I would start the conversation. Then I would once it naturally came up that he's interested in my ancestors, I would talk about my own,
Yeah.
and then I would extol the virtues of Maja and how our matriarch ascended into literal godhood by killing another god.
Yeah.
And I get real animated about that part.
He is very excited and, waiting for that to come up naturally in conversation takes approximately 23 seconds. It's, hi, how are you? I'm Devore. What's your name? Oh, nice to meet you. What's your ancestry like?
I come from a hold that has a literal goddess that came from us.
Well, that's interesting. Do tell. Everything, by the way. Tell everything. I have 3 notebooks here that need filling still. So, chop chop.
Don't hold back.
What do you mean, chop chop?
Get to talking. Come on. Let's hear it.
Okay, I give him everything I know about myself and Maja's ascension, from her devotion to Sarenrae, to the differences in her faiths and philosophies, the mystery surrounding which god I know as a player which god she supplanted. Is that common knowledge amongst the orcs?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I go into how she just whooped the ass of the fucking what it was the previous god of fire. She just whooped his ass, smote him in the arena and took his spot, and now her hair literally burns with smoke and black fire. And then I keep going. As long as he's willing to listen, I keep going.
Oh, he'll talk your ear off all morning, and he'll listen to you. He'll ask clarifying questions as he's taking notes. He will absolutely he won't stop you. He'll encourage you. Go ahead and give me that orc lore roll with a +3 circumstance bonus.
Okay. All right, let me add it real quick. 3, add.
Not bad at all. Certainly a success.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get much better than a 14 on the dice.
It
It hovered on the 20, though.
That'll bring you up to a influence rank of 2 with Devore.
All right.
Who else has things they'd like to do this morning?
gonna-
Isn't
Go ahead.
Grovlin,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Didn't she like if you help her out, do some work with her, like athletics?
You can certainly use athletics, yeah. That was when Drawn first spoke to her on your guys' night of arriving. She was in the middle of splitting logs and just basically made him take over her work.
Is she doing like something like that now or today or?
At the moment, she is. She is currently sharpening a hatchet right now as you approach. She's been seen to do a variety of things. Split wood, carving was what Zool came across her doing. She's currently sharpening a hatchet.
I'll see if she needs some more wood split, see if I can help her out that way.
Sure. Yeah. And you don't even have to do something that's necessarily help if you just want to kind of, show off. Or even hell, if you wanted to challenge her to a wrestling match and try and influence her.
Oh yeah,
that, you might
definitely
be able
like to do that.
Yeah.
You want to do wrestling?
I like how quick and simple you are. Let's do it.
Yeah. Put a big smile on my face.
Yeah, absolutely. As the two of you begin competing and trying to throw each other to the ground for a solid couple moments, it doesn't take very long before you are able to get her in a very solid grapple, get her feet out from under her, and send her sprawling to the ground. A very decisive victory for you. She'll sort of go to rub the back of her head and stand up. Well played.
It is always fun to wrestle.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is always fun. How gracious would you say Crow is in victory to something like this? Like, is he a good sport, or is he more the type to gloat after a victory?
Oh, he has learned that it is always good to tell them how good they were in there too, because otherwise they will not wrestle again.
Fantastic. That decision right there has guaranteed you get a crit success instead of a regular success.
Yeah.
Which will bring you guys up to 3 influence, and as a strong relationship with Grothlin is being built at this point, your guys' overall reputation in camp is going to improve. Very nicely done.
Hell yeah.
So I was over there.
Grothlin, I'll tell you this at this point based off of that. Specifically, her weakness, you gained a +1 circumstance bonus from incorporating impressive physical effort into your influence check. However, if you weren't gracious in winning the contest, you would have had a -2, which would have caused it to be a regular success instead of a crit success. So, because you're nice to them, that's a crit success for you.
Nice.
All right. Gwynne, Straz, and Rog. What about the 3 of you? Sorry. Brain moment.
I was going to keep working on the war. Get into the intricacies
A little
more.
hard to get a word in edgewise this morning since Zool is being so kind of overbearing, but you can absolutely still try. And
You know what
converse
I
as well.
might do is save that for the afternoon. And Aaron wasn't one of the key 4, right?
No, Arian is the head of a merchant association, or at least a
Right.
key member. So, if you think it would be worthwhile to get in good with the Golden Wheel Trading Company, it's certainly not a bad idea to influence him a bit.
Yeah, because I did work on him last time.
Yep. So above table, the 3 people that are guaranteed to have mechanical potential benefits for reaching max influence are Kestrel, Grothlin, and Devore. Everyone else who can be influenced, though, Crick, Lakon, Arian, and Lieutenant Nar. The AP doesn't really care if you have a good relationship, though. My changes do. So it's kind of up to you guys with how limited time is if you want to focus on certain individuals and try and max them out, or you just want to get a generally good relationship with as many people as possible. It's probably not going to be possible for you guys to max out the relationship with everyone here.
What's the second tier? What number is the second tier at?
You guys don't know that. You haven't reached it yet.
Understood. Okay.
I will say you're very close with Kestrel, and you're at 5 with her.
Okay.
And
for the morning.
You hit the first tier at 3, so I'll give you a guess what the second tier is at.
Yeah. For the morning, then, I'm gonna just do what I did yesterday. Might not be the best, but I don't want to meta it. I'm gonna speak to Aaron for again, go back to him and just chat up and see how he's doing today, because I did a lot of talking with him 2 days ago.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
What did I don't know if I had notes
I
on.
believe it was just diplomacy that was used. I would allow from you, though, a little bit better than that, society, if you want to more talk about, now that you've spoken with him a bit more, if you want to talk about, some more of the trade routes that the Golden Wheel works with, if you wanted to talk with his wife Karai about her jeweling practices, things like that, I'd allow society for. And if you have another skill you'd like to use and you think you have a good argument for it, by all means.
I think society's good. Yeah, society makes sense.
Awesome.
This is the actual roll, so it's a regular above the board, right?
Yep. Fantastic. DC was 18 with society, so that is perfect. Yeah, spending the better part of the morning just actively chatting with him a bit more and getting to know him and his wife, talking about their business, what life is like outside of Belkzen. Absolutely deepen your friendship and relationship with them. You sort of, at this point, you probably learned from them, they don't particularly have high hopes for Torrentmoot, just because of the general difficulties of external trade in Belkzen. But the two of them are specifically here because they are ambitious. Uh, there's nothing really they lose if Ardax's plans go awry, but should Ardax succeed, the amount they'll gain is astronomical if they can get in early.
I think also too, I want to make sure I leave a good impression because since they're merchants, they're traveling. They're the word that like travels, and I want to help with this idea of how orcs are just like these like mindless, bloodthirsty murderers. So
Yeah,
having it like conversations with him, I'll make sure I leave like an imprint of that so he can spread that word.
perfect. Straws, what about you this morning? What would you like to do?
What I'm gonna do is ask for DM assistance because I'm not too familiar with this camp yet. What do you think would be a good idea for me to do?
Maybe try to get more ideas on some of the other people that we just talked to. See if there's other ways that we can get the influence up, so you can like indirectly talk to people near those individuals.
And who would those be besides Dalvar? I know he's one of them. Who would
Ardak,
be the others?
Kestrel, the other human, well, elf. I called her a human before, but it looks like she's elf on
She is
top.
an elf.
Yeah, to me they're all human. If they're not green, they're human. And then to the west, Grothlin. She's all about like strength and at least from Rog's perspective, strength and she really has a thing for carving, which nobody can handle. Apparently, they all end up making firewood.
You know what? I do have warfare lore. Which was the one that you said you needed warfare lore for?
From
I
what
think
we
Kestrel.
said earlier, we have Kestrel and was there another one? I think Grothlin as well, right?
That is correct.
Which
Yes.
one do you want me to hit?
It's up to you. Either the elf or the really strong, scary orc lady.
That's my future wife.
I won't flirt. I won't flirt with his wife, so I'll go to elf
Sure.
woman.
Yeah, heading up to Kestrel, the camp of the Knights of Last Wall, who have been here for a while as well, but still sort of mostly keep to themselves. Kestrel being a very obvious champion of Saren Ray, who is sort of leading this group. Their tents are the most different from all the rest, where all the regular tents for the orcs are typically made out of aurochs hides and very utilitarian. The Knights of Last Walls are pretty utilitarian as well, but they are made out of white and gold cloth with pennants sort of snapping in the constant wind that makes them a bit more prominent than any of the normal tents for the different orc holds. But you are welcome. If you'd like to chat with anything in particular alongside your role, you're more than welcome to with Kestrel. Or if you just want to make a roll, that is by all means allowed as well.
I'll chat with her a little bit. I'll introduce myself and I'll ask her if there's anything that her and the Knights need help with. I'm new here and kind of want to help out.
Well, hello. Welcome first to Torrentmoot. It's great to have you around. Not really sure if the intro is for me to give there, but always happy to see other Torrentmooters. I don't think there's anything we particularly are in need of assistance with at the moment. We're just sort of enjoying the company and companionship, getting to know some of the others. But of course, my name is Kestrel, a Knight of Last Wall, as are my companions here. On behalf of His Grace, Lord Ulthun II, I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I know that's a bit of a stuffy intro, please believe me, but we're nothing if not sticklers for tradition. So, whom do I have the pleasure of meeting?
Oh, my name is Straze. I'm a bit of a wanderer. I found myself here. Are you as fast as your name suggests?
I can be for sure. It's yes, I was more of a dexterous fighter than a power fighter, but
You say were. Are you no longer a
I,
fighter?
I'm a bit rusty if I have to be entirely honest. I'm always ready for a fight, but I'm not sure that I could reach the speeds that it seems you are believing me to potentially represent with my name. It's been a long time since I've had to run that fast and that hard.
Well, I also am a bit of a dexterous fighter. If you ever want to have a friendly spar, just touching, no power, just touch, practice on speed and precision. I'd be more than happy to spar with you.
Well, if you're looking for a spa, I suppose we don't really need help with anything at the moment, so I'd be happy to help keep you nimble and get myself perhaps a bit back in shape.
Sounds fantastic. No better way to get to know somebody.
Certainly a good way to do so. And I will leave it up to you if you want to use warfare lore or acrobatics. If you're doing a more speed-based spar, warfare lore is probably going to be better. But if you've got a much better acrobatics, then maybe you'd rather roll that.
Got a better acrobatics, but if warfare lore would be better, let's go with that. I was just trying that out.
Lore skills will pretty much always be better, typically by around 2 or so. So you've got a 4 better acrobatics than lore, so it's gonna be up for debate.
Are
What would
those
be better?
Are those 3 hero points actually there?
Yes, yeah.
All
You will
right,
start
well,
every session with 3. That's a very
That's
good
pretty
roll on
good.
its own. And with that, as the spar eventually comes to an end, you both sort of start out a bit slow, testing each other's reflexes before gradually beginning to speed up as you effectively weaponless try and. It's almost a game of speed tag as it devolves
Exactly.
into, but just working on making sure both of your reflexes are in tip-top shape. And as the spar eventually comes to an end and you both sort of sit down, laugh about how either good or poor your performance was, grab a drink together, she does get a bit of like wistfulness in her eyes. Sorry, you reminded me of someone during that spa. Well, well done.
Oh no, that was fun. I'll definitely give you the win on that one.
Uh, I appreciate it. Sorry, give me a minute, would you? And she will sort of get up and actually make her way into one of the tents off to the side. You definitely catch her like surreptitiously wipe her eyes as she does so.
I must have hit her too hard.
She does come out a minute or so later with, smile back on any potential tears wiped from her eyes, and with a sort of unadorned looking scabbard in her hand that has a blade sheathed. And as she sits back down near you, she will sort of.
Put my hands up.
I'm not planning to attack you.
Oh, good.
I was actually thinking of giving this to you.
Oh,
The person you reminded me of was a more speed-based fighter as well. This was their blade. Figured
That
it
would
would do
be-
better in the hands of someone who can actively make use of it.
Nice.
I would be honored. Can you tell me his name?
Uh, Jealous.
Can the DM spell that?
Yeah, JalYss.
Okay. Well, I hope one day you could tell me more about him. I would love to learn the stories of the man whose blade I hold.
Well, there's really not much to tell. He was a student of mine, probably one of the better, but he perished a few years ago when Vigil was invaded.
I'm sorry to hear. My condolences.
Well, we fight and we die. That's how it goes. I made sure to track him down after he was reanimated and give him the rest he deserved.
That was good of you.
I should hope so. But this was his, and well, probably, again, better serve someone who can actively use it a bit better.
I'll put my hand on it and take it, I guess.
Yeah. This is a... I don't know why I can't find my treasure for it. Fucking wild, you would think. So I'll grab it for you into... do you want it in your inventory or generally in the party stash?
Guess I'll be greedy and take it.
Nice! It is a low-grade silver scimitar. So, not magical, but it is made out of a precious metal that makes it a bit more valuable and a bit more useful against specific types of enemies.
Like tooth fairies.
No, they were weak to cold iron.
Oh,
Frickin' tooth fairies.
I would have found that funny.
That would have been funny.
I hate
No. Creatures like devils and werewolves are typically the most common examples of weaknesses to silver. But Gwynne, we didn't do your morning. Almost forgot. What would you like to do today?
No worries.
And I can
Okay.
say, by the way, Kestrel has been maxed out at this point on influence. 6 points is what you need to max out someone.
Sounds good.
So you guys are welcome to continue chatting with her and spending time with her as Torrentmoot goes on, but there will not be any further rewards for influencing her anymore.
Okay. I'm gonna try to influence. I guess it's technically Arian and Korai together
Mhm.
as like a duo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and do some mining for them because I know they had asked me if I find anything like precious
Interesting.
gems or stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and
absolutely.
look for stuff to bring back for them.
Absolutely. Let's see, what would be a good... Oh, you've got mining lore. Look at that.
I've got mining or I've also got survival.
I will let you choose which you would rather roll.
We're gonna go with survival because it's a little better. Although mining lore does make the most sense in that case. I don't know if that succeeds.
That will be an exact success.
Perfect.
So, yeah, as you know, Rog is spending the morning actively talking to Arian and Korai. You take your knowledge of the surroundings and the area, and you know some of the areas that are soon going to get flooded with the deluge, and you go out ahead and just do a little bit of mid-morning mining in order to get some of these semi-precious stones that might be valuable and bring them back to Korai and offer them to her as something to
Help her out.
craft with.
Yeah.
me see here real quick.
Frog is thinking to himself, is he trying to make a move on her? Why is he bringing her jewels?
Uh,
She's pretty hot for a human.
Gwynne, I will leave the choice to you. Would you
Okay.
rather be paid for your work here, or would you rather actually get a piece of finished jewelry using the stones you've provided?
They probably Gwyn would probably not have asked for anything, so they'd probably be surprised by getting the finished jewelry.
Okay. Yeah. Then they won't mention anything about it now. Karai will just sort of take it with a smile and a thanks. But certainly by the end of Torrentmoot, make sure you remind me if I forget. She will surprise you with a piece of jewelry as thanks for this.
Okay, I will put that in my notes. I will also forget.
However, something's going to happen to you on your way back to Torrentmoot.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
And we're going to get into that
Don't-
after a break.
don't like those words.
So everyone take a couple minutes here. We'll take about 5 minutes or so. Stand up, stretch, grab some water, and I will see you all in a few. Welcome back from break, everyone. So, as this morning has been going on, most of you remain in camp. Only one of you left to go out into the nearby Badlands, do a bit of mining, see if you could find some gemstones to potentially give to the prince so that they could use and build up your influence with them. Gwynne, would you mind giving me a perception check, please, while you're out and about?
Always take the druid with you when you leave.
Okay. You almost don't notice. In fact, you don't notice the person by sight, but it's when you are turned around and beginning making your way back to Torrentmoot that you hear the rugged breathing and weak cry coming from behind you. Help! Please!
What?
You hear someone crying help
Oh,
from behind you.
behind me.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Do I see where they are?
Are you turning around and looking?
Is there something I know of the local area that might be something calling to me that I like? Is there something in the area? Like, is there any like local like legends or
Give
rumors?
me a recall knowledge roll.
Oh my gosh, you're overthinking it. Just look.
Man, this DM has made you guys paranoid. I'm scared now.
Yeah,
I
Oh,
heard
you
many
haven't
stories
seen
about him.
nothing yet.
He almost killed me last session, so
You haven't seen nothing yet.
By the way, I hope you guys appreciate my new mug. It's the tears of my players. They're still warm.
considering I almost died last session, I'm gonna be careful.
I know, right?
Gwynne.
I didn't even get hurt.
Gwynne. You know of stories of creatures that are capable of calling out. None that are super local to this area that would be creatures that are likely to be active in the middle of the day. They tend to be more like night stories. Also,
Nocturnal.
yeah, also tend to be typically more creatures that would be found in caves and forests, not in open areas where it's easy to see them and spot their deceptions.
Okay, so I'm going to turn around and look and see what the hell's.
You fucking
Asking help.
idiot.
Crap.
Well,
No, looking behind you, you actually see a figure sort of like stagger running towards you through the like midday haze of the sun and the heat. They appear to be a middle-aged orc in leather armor that has been shredded. eyes wide, heavy breathing, hair that is torn and matted with blood, multiple wounds on her arms and upper torso that are actively weeping blood and probably need to be bandaged pretty quickly.
Okay.
But she's like
Do I
running.
see anything nearby?
I'm sorry?
Do I see anything nearby that might be chasing them?
No, you do not.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go over and see what the hell's going on with them.
Yeah. Seeing you like turn and actually take notice of them as they had weakly called out to you, they managed to struggle a few more steps forward before collapsing face down in the dirt.
Okay.
As you approach them and are able to get a bit of a closer look at them, you recognize this person. You don't necessarily
Okay.
know their name, but you recognize what they're from. They're from the Death's Head hold that Lakon and Toshki and Drawn are from.
Interesting.
And you
Okay,
know a group of them, including this one, had gone out into the Badlands to party the other night.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm gonna go over and see and like, are you okay? What happened?
And she's fallen on the ground unconscious, heavily injured.
Okay.
She's not necessarily like on death's door at the moment, but if
Okay.
left untended to, she'd probably bleed out.
Okay.
You almost didn't notice her.
You really almost didn't.
Yeah. Boy, fun. So I'm noticing there's nothing in the area that's like an active danger,
No,
right?
it's a pretty open area. You don't see any other creatures or
Okay.
types of maybe hazards that could be this. You also like are able to see her footprints extend pretty far into the distance.
Okay. I'm gonna take a few minutes to medicine her
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
try and like just tend to the wounds.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me that medicine check. Ooh, look at that roll. Beautiful.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna tend to their wounds. And I'm also going to, because I'm also carrying all the stuff I'm bringing with me. I'm
Yup.
gonna undo the cloak that I'm wearing, basically. Grab the bedroll that's in my pack, and jerry rig it into almost like a sling that I can like drag along with me.
Nice. And just sort of like lay her on top of
like
and drag her behind
triage
you.
thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Make my way back to the camp with them.
Yeah, as you, jury rig up this little sling, you've patched up their injuries so they're no longer at any risk of bleeding out and should make a recovery unless there's any hidden injuries that need tending to, and begin making your way back to camp, bringing her alongside. It's probably right around 1 in the afternoon at this point that you return, coming from the eastern entrance, where some of the, honestly, the hobgoblins from Opric are the first to notice you, and like 2 of them will come striding over to you, seeing you dragging someone behind you, and ask to take a look.
Yeah, I will kind of put my gear down off to the side, like the hammer and bag that I was carrying with me,
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, I just found them out in the wilds. I don't know. They're from that group that went out to partying, but they are unconscious. I tended to their wounds. They're not in any immediate danger, but
All right, make way, make way. We'll take a look, see if there's any other injuries that need taken care of. You see both of them, like they're armored pretty heavily, but they do also both have what appear to be pretty extensive medicine kits with them.
Okay.
And so,
I'm gonna very quickly run over and do I see Ardax in the area? Or
Ardax
is he
is,
available?
you don't see him. He's probably in his tent with guests right now.
Okay.
He's been
then
pretty much held up all day, every day, for the most part.
Yeah. I was looking to see cursory glance if I notice him. If not, I'm gonna be 100% sure that they're fine. If they're conscious, ask them some questions.
Sure. Are you grabbing anyone else that you know, or
If I notice the other party members of the rest of the party, if I notice them, I'm waving over to them to like come over.
the rest of you are probably finishing up your lunch around this time, so you would absolutely see a semi-panicked looking Gwynne, like dashing into close to the center of camp, fling a glance at Ardax's tent, look around, eyes land on you, and like quickly beckon you before like turning and rushing back
I'm
towards
over.
the east end of camp.
What seems to be going on?
One of the death's heads. I was out mining and I barely noticed them, but they were running in this direction. They were badly injured. I'm not sure what happened. They were unconscious before I could ask them any questions.
Wait, is this the group that went out the other day?
It is.
One of them. The Death's Head aren't the only hold that are going out and partying. There are a number of groups that are going out and doing this. Most of them returned the next day. Notably, Death's Head didn't return the immediate next day. This is the second day after. So
Now, the
theoretically,
other
they
Death
would have
Head
come back
members that are
yesterday.
here, are they still here or are they gone?
Lakon and Tashki and like two of the other members of the hold are still here. In total, it was 6 members of the hold and Drawn who had gone out to party.
I'm gonna go get let Lakon know.
Absolutely, yeah. As you make your way over to Lakon, let him know that one of them came back injured. He will get a bit of a somber look on his face and immediately like pack up his tools and head over towards the east entrance with you. Is everyone else just heading over towards the east side of camp?
Yeah, Zool would go over to where all the commotion is.
All right. The around this time, probably the two hobgoblin guards are finishing up their ministrations. They've sort of undone some of your bandaging, Gwynne, to check some of the wounds for any venom or disease that has infected it. But both of them are definitely pretty impressed by the thoroughness of your ministrations, and there isn't much extra for them to do right now aside from let this person make a recovery. Though,
Yeah.
in the interest of speeding it up and waking them up, Lakon comes over, sees this person injured, pulls out a healing potion, and just throws it at their head.
Incredible.
Corked and all, doesn't even bother uncorking it. Just a small glass vial, he just throws it, which it smacks and shatters on their head, causing the potion to begin healing some of their injuries. And because of the magical nature of this healing, their eyes snap open and they sit up, clutching at their side. Where am I?
You're back at the camp. You're safe now. What happened? Where is the rest of your group?
We were attacked.
By?
Flying creatures.
Did they steal your teeth?
No.
Was it the? I'm gonna ask if they had horns and describe the creatures that I saw earlier in when we first showed up to this place.
Yes. There was a flock of them that ran us down out of nowhere. They killed most everyone.
I saw them going east last. Is that where you guys ended up? Where they attacked you?
That's where they left. Yes, they took Drawn with them.
Alright. I think we should make up a party and go after them to see if we can rescue any other survivors.
They're crafty. They're very crafty.
Agreed.
Yeah. They,
The longer we wait, the trail gets colder.
you pretty much know what these creatures are. You know they are perytons, which are pretty dangerous predators that are capable of flight. And Drawn had known about them. You had warned him, but whether they were ambushed or not, it seems they got attacked by a large number of them. And Yulen here is perhaps the only survivor. She says the rest of her regular companions died. Drawn managed to get a pretty hefty blow on who appeared to be the leader of the Perytons, but then was gored and dragged off as they flew away.
Perfect.
So, you don't have much to go off of right now. You know they're heading east. That's where they generally are. You got a couple options.
How many days?
I'm sorry? The
Did she
attack
say how
happened
many days?
yesterday morning.
Oh, so she already made it this far here, so it wasn't that many days of a travel.
Not awful, no. You guys are welcome to ask around, talk to people. You can give me a recall knowledge to see what you know about the region. You guys can also just directly head out and try and track them down, though that'll be probably a bit more challenging to do so.
Do recall knowledge.
Since I have already kind of like sighted them before, would I be able to do anything with a recall with nature?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this blind or public?
Yeah, if you're recalling knowledge, real simple, that's just in your basic action macros. And
Got it.
nature is one of the skills that'll be rolled with it.
Got it.
Gwynne, you're targeting yourself right now. So all that shows me is the skill relevant to you, so it's just showing me society and mining lore.
Thanks.
It's the tragedy of recall and knowledging while targeting.
Yup.
Perfect. Okay. Let me take a minute here, go over everyone's rolls, see what we got going on here.
Mr. DM, correct me if I'm wrong. I can use warfare lore to recall knowledge on creatures, right?
You can, yes.
I'll do that
Okay.
from their description of it.
So just for your reference, typically I try not to give combat information during out-of-combat recall knowledges.
Fair.
But I will, of course, tell you about the type of creature if you roll well. But things like saves, major abilities, that I will not typically share until you spend the action economy in combat to do so. Crow, you're the only person to know this region well enough that you have an idea of where they might be. Specifically about 20 miles east-northeast of here is a area of the Badlands more commonly known as the Broken Spears, which is quite literally a number of large rock spires. And
Most likely to be at the Broken Spears.
That would make a very good nesting area for these types of creatures.
I would say we should probably just head there.
Straze, you unfortunately don't have much inherent information on perytons. You've definitely heard of them, and if someone were to describe them to you, you'd probably recognize what they are. They're a strange, horrific mismatch of stag, wolf, and hawk all into one creature. But aside from that, you don't know much else about them.
Now, before we leave, since they did say it was a flying creature, could I go to the merchant and buy a bunch of shurikens?
uh, Shurikens.
Or javelins, or any throwing
Yeah,
weapons?
you probably wouldn't be able to pick up shurikens because those are uncommon and they probably didn't stock a bunch of them here. But like javelins, darts, all of those would be pretty simple. So if you wanted to grab a bunch of those, you absolutely could.
Yep, darts are fine.
Perfect.
Is there a shop I can actually buy them from, or
How many are you looking to purchase?
let's go with 10.
Perfect. That's
Thank you.
yep. And just copper, and we go up to 10 darts. Look at that, beautiful. Magic. Magic of GMing. All right. Well, are you guys looking to immediately head out here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste any more time. We've already. It's already been at least over almost 24 hours.
Yeah.
Based on,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I was gonna say, based on where she said she was and where we are now and the time of the day right now, would we be encountering them today, or would it be something like it would take like the rest of today to travel and then tomorrow, based on what we know right
So
now?
that's what I was about to say.
Got it.
The area is about 20 miles away. So if you're looking to get there today, you might be able to reach there after night has fallen. And I'm probably in that situation going to ask for a fortitude save versus fatigue from everyone. If you would rather, you can travel a chunk of the way this afternoon, rest, and then finish the journey off tomorrow morning. Probably get there a little before midday. So it's the choice is really yours if you want to try and push through, get there tonight, or if you would rather wait until tomorrow, ensure you're at your best possible capacity. I believe most people in the party have dark vision. Gwynne and Straze only have low light vision, so by the time night has fallen, if you guys don't have a light source, two of you are going to be blind.
These creatures are smart and crafty. I think that we should make sure that we are like fully 100% ourselves when we face them. I think if we leave now, we get rest, we rest tonight, and then we can get the jump on them first thing in the morning.
I like that idea.
Are they nocturnal?
They're not necessarily nocturnal from what you're aware of, but they are. You know what? Go ahead and give me a recall knowledge. Why not? Perfect time for this kind of roll. Ooh, very good roll. You are rolling as a guru, by the way, right now. But
Oh, my bad.
you rolled a nat 20, so it doesn't really matter.
Guru knows.
Guru knows everything. As long as it's not the fucking bear story again, they're happy to. Perytons are not nocturnal creatures specifically, but they do have dark vision, so they can see just fine without light, and they do live in packs typically, so they are smart enough that they are likely to have people that stay up on pseudo watch at night. And with that roll, just for anyone who hasn't seen one before, this is what a Peryton generally looks like.
And they can talk.
They can, in fact, talk.
They always
remember
have a
that's
heart in their mouth.
Yep.
that was one thing I got in my roll when I did it. I knew they can talk. That's what
I know they
terrifies
can
me.
talk, and with that nat 20, I will also add in the info you are aware of. They are capable of ripping out the hearts of people and eating it in order to heal themselves.
So, with that roll, would I know how likely someone might survive under them?
The odds are slim to
low.
none.
Yeah.
It's
So,
they didn't
but the
leave any
question
other
is,
survivors. It's
so the
very
question is,
likely that at this
yeah.
point.
All right. I think we should rest in there because I think otherwise we'd just be opening up ourselves to more problems.
All right, so I think we all agree then. We
Yep.
we travel today, get rest on the way there, and then we get them first thing.
Yes.
Cool. This will let me
Alright.
get my spells together too.
All right, then you all begin dashing out of camp, heading east in the direction of Broken Spears, knowing you're not going to make it all the way there tonight, but planning to find a good spot as far as you can get along to get some rest, and then get up early in the morning to finish off the sprint and get there. I'm assuming you guys are going to actively take watches while you're out here at night. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what order would you guys like to take those watches in?
I'll take first
Uh,
watch.
All right, and then Ryan will take
Set up
second with and
watch.
get a bird friend like usual.
Sure.
I'll take last watch.
Okay.
I'll take second watch because I only have low light vision.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, same. I only have low light.
All right, then I'll go
take-
later.
Two
I'll go
people can
later
take
then.
watch at the same time.
Well, how many rounds do we need? 3 or 4?
I typically do 4.
different-
You can do more or fewer if you would like, but 4 is typically the average.
Well, we have 2 humans, and then so I'll take myself and a bird. Will take third.
I'll put Guru on the watch with one of the humans.
Okay. We can't, we got to be careful with them until we know them a little better.
Okay. So who's
Very
first
shady.
watch?
Me.
Zool.
Zool.
Just Zool on his own? Anyone else doing it at that point also?
Gwynne will probably take first watch as well because low light vision.
Okay. Yeah, Gwynne and Zool on first watch. Second watch, Straze. Anyone
Straze,
else?
Guru.
Straze and Guru. Awesome. Third watch sounded like Rog and a bird.
Yeah, Rog and his buddy bird. His
Final
albatross.
watch will be just Crow. Awesome. Go ahead and give me those blind perception checks. And are you guys
and
using a
before
campfire?
before I go to sleep, I cast instant armor.
Classic. Sure.
Would we have a campfire?
I think. We
Yeah, we'll have a campfire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we will.
makes sense.
All right. You want? I gotta give for Guru too.
Whatever on perception.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And wonderful general rolls here. Lots of good shit coming through. Love to see it. All right. Thankfully, this night passes without anything out of the ordinary getting to you. It does appear to be just a solid, if not a bit stressful night's sleep for each of you, as you all are sort of wishing the
get
nights
up.
to go by faster.
When I get up for my ship, I go armor up, and my armor just comes on.
I hate you. Fuck, that's awesome.
As I snap my fingers.
All right.
I
Iron
love
Man
that
over there.
spell. I love that spell so much.
Rog feeds, fattens up the bird a little bit with foraging to make sure that he can call him again.
Sounds good.
Keep the diplomacy good with the creatures here. I guess I'll since we made it we made it to the morning. I'm gonna just do my prep real quick.
Yeah, you guys are all welcome to hit the long rest button, do any morning prep you have to. As you guys then begin continuing to head eastbound, you definitely pretty easily get within. I mean, I guess how close would you guys like to get before you probably slow down a bit and start being a bit more active with exploration actions aside from just rushing there? I would probably recommend a mile or two away, but if you guys want to risk getting closer or want to even start like keeping an eye out and doing other things from further away, you're welcome to do that as well.
I think my whole way up, I'm gonna be doing survival, quote unquote survival, for lack of a better word, especially 2 miles, at least 2 miles out. I don't know what their smell is, but I think Rog at least believes that some creatures can have like a really strong smell, especially if the wind, depending where the wind is going. So he wants to be really careful.
Sure. You guys are fairly certain, based off of your recall knowledges up until now, Perytons do not have scent as a prominent sense
Okay,
for them.
that's helpful.
So if the wind were really strong, maybe they could catch it like any other creature, but they don't have a more attuned sense of smell than other creatures do.
Is there an exploration action that goes with like survival and tracking that would make sense? I know there's like 100 exploration actions
Well,
now.
there is the track action specifically. There's not really much to track. You don't really have direct traces right now. I would say,
Scout.
yeah, you could be scouting if you want to give everyone that perception or that initiative bonus. You could be searching if you want to be actively keeping an eye out for any perytons or other creatures. Investigating lets you sort of make recall knowledges about things near you, and with my home rule, if investigate is your exploration action, then when you roll initiative, you get to make a combat recall knowledge as a free action against a creature you can see. I would say if you wanted to sort of use survival in place of like deception to be actively trying to sort of disguise yourself here in the natural wilderness, I'd allow that.
I think I'll do scout. Make sure I can give everyone initiative when the time comes.
Perfect.
Jericho, if multiple people search, will we get multiple rolls, or will it just be one group roll?
Yep. Anyone who is
Multiple.
actively searching gets to do their own roll.
Okay. Then Zool will search for his activity.
Okay.
There we go.
And that good old scout effect on y'all. What about everyone else?
I guess strays will also search a different area, I guess.
Sure.
I think I'm going to investigate.
Go for it. And you guys can each give me those rolls: perception from Zool and Straws, recall knowledge for Crow. Gwynne, what about you?
Can I have Guru searching? He is
Familiars
independent.
cannot take. He does. He is independent. Is he? Son of a bitch.
Actually, can I aid him in his search? Would that give him like a better roll?
Sure. If you'd like to aid someone, you may.
What do I roll for that? Still perception?
Still perception, but you can do it public. Independent gives your familiar an in combat action. It doesn't let them really do a full out of combat exploration action. That is typically reserved as a special ability for Eidolons to be able to take advantage of, that familiars and animal companions can't. Zool, that is a +1 circumstance to your roll, which I've already got, so I'll just retroactively add that +1.
And we already know like the cave we're going to, right?
You know they are.
We know the area we're going to.
Yeah, you know they're theoretically Broken Spears is probably the best place for them, the most likely location that they could be nesting. You don't know exactly where in Broken Spears they are.
I was muted, I realized.
I was wondering.
Would you let me use defend with the entrench melee ability?
Oh, ooh, that's weird, isn't that?
To just do the start with the +1 to melee AC?
Fuck it, why not?
Alright, sweet. That's my
Because the idea
exploration
with
action.
defend is it's just sort of repeating a single action
Yeah.
activity, so I'd say entrenching is fine. It's very funny
We
to
only
imagine.
have one person actually. Do we only have one person actually doing search?
You have one person doing it who's aided. If you would
I'm
rather
gonna.
do a search yourself as opposed to investigate, you may.
Yeah, I'm gonna do search too because I think. Yeah.
Okay, go for it. Gwyn, I think it's very funny to imagine that, like, you take a couple steps and, like, slam down and hunker. And take another few steps and hunker.
It's more of just the armor is modified where they can lift up the gorget very high and some of the armor like bulks out before it kind of like collapses back in on itself.
It's gotta be a great muscle workout to be like doing that repeatedly as you're traveling.
I mean, Gwyn is a big person.
Go ahead and give me that perception check, Crow, please, if you would. Awesome. Fantastic. As you guys sort of slow down a mile or two out from the larger pillars of Broken Spears, you've, like, the Badland area themselves, this area, is sort of this low, shallow canyon of reddish-brown rock with numerous spires of similar material but varying sizes and widths rising out of it. With how this has sort of formed, it does allow the wind to whistle through it pretty loudly, creating this low moaning noise in the air. As you all are making your way through, though, Zool, you are the first to notice as that low moaning becomes a bit more interspersed with other sounds. More shrieks and growls beginning to softly echo alongside the wind, originating from the tops of some of the nearby spires. I would like everyone to go ahead and position themselves where they would be within the first 4 columns of the map over here, as you are sort of in travel formation.
That's where I'm at right now.
Awesome. And from there, I'd like everyone to roll initiative for me. As Zool, you point out what appear to be 3 perytons atop a couple of these different spires.
Everyone should be getting my scout, so just double check when you roll.
The
Should
effect is
auto-do.
on your token, so it should auto-apply.
Cool.
Mine did.
All right. Then, as you all begin to make your way into the area, 2 of the perytons are going to take notice of your approach first and are going to sort of growl from where they are right now. And let's see here. All right. The first peryton is going to sort of fly down over here and drop to about 15 feet off the ground before continuing to move towards you all. And it is going to sort of fly directly overhead as it lands on the ground behind you. However, as it does so, Rog, the Peryton flying directly overhead of you, you notice something strange happening not above, but below you. Will you please give me a will save? Okay. You watch as the shadow of the Peryton, as it flies overhead and lands directly behind you, antlers ready to attempt to gore you. The shadow of this creature flickers and shifts to match yours to a T. Whatever strange magic effect this is, though, you are unfazed by it at the moment. It is not going to get a bonus as it fails to hold the transformation perfectly of yours, but it is still somewhat off-putting, and so with its last action, this Peryton is going to attempt to gore you with its antlers here.
Oh.
And we are starting off well. I'm so sorry. Please don't hate me.
You love it.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
That's 37 points of damage to you, Rog. And I will need one more save as its shadow attempts to coalesce a bit heavier once more.
I'm going to use a hero point.
Sure. You are just fine. Seeing it stab you through the lower abdomen, you sort of pull it out, shrug it off, and even though the shadow is off-putting as it tries to mimic you, you've dealt with worse. This is nowhere near enough to actively frighten you as of yet. That is going to bring us to the further Peryton's turn. That is going to fly over here and then do the same thing, sort of landing on the ground right here. And Straze, I will need a will save from you as this one attempts to mimic your shadow. And one thing you do notice, this Peryton looks a bit bigger and stronger than the others.
I'm gonna reroll that one.
Sure. Just as an FYI, typically I will put a button in chat that you can click, and that's always fun because it'll tell you automatically whether you succeed or fail. And also apply any relevant bonuses you have based off of traits. But a 22 will succeed, so similarly to the other one, the shadow fails to quite hold an exact replica of yours, and it does not get some sort of buff from that. Gwynne, you're up.
Alrighty. Action 1, battle medicine.
It's like blood splatters onto your back as Rog is ran through.
Yeah. Oh no, we're gonna reroll that. Because I'm pretty sure it doesn't
Hold on,
reroll
don't
properly.
move, stab.
Yeah, just roll it again and take a hero point away.
If you right click it, it'll bring up the hero point option.
There we go.
When it's something that rolls like damage or healing dice, the hero point won't actively re-roll or put the effect in when you hero point it.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
Can anybody else see Rog's health bar?
No.
No, it's the only person I can't see.
Did I set it to... it's hovered by owner still. My apologies. It's supposed to be hovered by anyone.
So, other thing I'm gonna do...
Also, just curious, Gwynne, what macro are you hitting the medicine check from?
I am using basic action macros for treat wounds.
Interesting. Because normally it would give a immunity effect to help keep track of that.
Yeah.
Huh.
At least I wasn't risky surgery. I probably would have died.
You can't risky surgery
Right.
battle medicine, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna. No, we'll just keep it where it's at.
Sure,
And
your
I'm
spark
gonna
is in your
move.
eye right now.
Yeah, it's in the eye-catching spot, and we're gonna just try and hit this thing.
Makes sense. I will assume most of you guys have your weapons out since you knew you were coming into
Yes.
dangerous territory. A 20 will hit. Go ahead and give me that damage.
I always have my weapon out.
Oh, I forgot to give it the extra damage. Oh no, it didn't have my spike. Didn't matter.
Yeah. Now, there is also technically an argument that the maul is a two-handed weapon, and battle medicine requires a
right.
free hand.
I forgot about that.
But, fuck it. 7 damage dealt. I'll ignore
I
it this
forgot
time.
about that requirement.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to think about. If you
We
wanna
might
battle
be switching
medicine.
off the maul and changing it to just a regular warhammer in the next session.
Makes sense. All good to keep it this way for now, though. And I think
Yep.
that does it for you.
Yep.
Zool, you are up.
All right. Without, just blatantly tell me what % of your health is left, are you looking bloody raw, really bloody?
I'm fucked up.
His
It's
HP
probably
is now hoverable.
Yeah. If it's hoverable, you see that it's pretty bad. It's probably the worst
Okay.
I've been since I joined up with you guys. But so put it this way: if I got hit again with the same exact thing, I would definitely be dead.
Don't worry, I won't possibly crit you guys with the deadly weapon again.
I don't know, I have really bad luck. I've had people like
Oh,
triple
definitely
crit me in
not.
a row. So
There you go, Rod. 30 health
Whew.
back.
thank you very much. It is good to have a lot. I was afraid going into this. We don't have a lot of healers. This is awesome. Thank you.
And then
What, the
as my
first
third
campaign
action,
in a while that I have a cleric in the party.
raise
I
shield.
might drop
Good old
the
raise a
kill.
shield. All right.
I'll be honest, I've been looking at Battle Harbinger really heavily.
That is going to bring us to. They should actually be a little bit lower. Rog, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna take a step back.
Fair enough.
There's a whole lot of blood there. I appreciate everybody. Normally I would try to be more defensive and put up a shield, but I'm just gonna come on swing because that kind of sucked. So, go for something big.
Ooh, good old Tempest Surge. All right. That is going to be a failure on their save. Go ahead and give me that damage. And they will become clumsy 2 for a round. Oh, goodness. 11 points of electricity damage. Whew. Yeah, as the energy zaps out and sort of shocks their wings into stilling them for a bit, making it much harder for them to fly as the shriek out in pain, looking at you, Rog.
I wish it was better, but that is my turn.
All right. That is going to bring us to the third Perrington's turn. Straze, you're on deck. Let's see here. Yeah, it's going to take 2 actions no matter what. So it is going to sort of circle around, flying over Zool and Gwynne as it comes down to ground level. It is specifically trying to mimic Gwynne's shadow, though. So Gwynne, if you would give me that will save, please.
Alrighty. God damn it.
That is just barely gonna fail. So as this creature, for the first time out of 3 of these Peritons, there is a hard outline where this creature's shadow has been entirely replaced by your own. You know there's something strange about that. You don't quite yet know what it is, though.
Alrighty.
But because they're flanking you, they're gonna try and gore you with their antlers.
Yep.
And your eye-catching spot does give them a -1 to melee attacks, correct?
Yes, does.
Perfect. That's only a regular hit.
Oh!
Thank God.
And not the best damage roll. But at this point, you're probably pretty confident in telling they had a bit more almost supernatural accuracy and much more painful antlers than they should have. And you think it has something to do with the fact that it is mimicking your shadow exactly. It's
Good to
gaining a
know.
status bonus to attack and damage rolls against you with a mimic shadow. I will also need a will save, since it is perfectly mimicking your shadow.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's not great, Gwynne.
Reroll that.
Sure.
Jesus
Thank goodness
Christ.
for
All right,
this
we
test.
see that.
Then
Yeah, even recognizing exactly what's going on, you take a moment, steal your mind, and you manage to not let this get the better of you and cause you to lose yourself to fear a bit.
Alright.
Draze, that brings us to you. Crow, you're on deck.
Alrighty, action number 1. You see Straze take a very different stance, and his hands become like wreathed in flames. And where's my other thing here?
Ooh.
Then he takes another stance, and the fire goes even brighter.
Not the monk self-buffing. No.
It's just Goku screaming for 2 rounds for 2 actions.
Yeah!
And you should
And
have a
now-
macro on your hotbar in the number 4 slot for flurry of blows if you are thinking of using that at any point.
We're actually gonna use a focus for your blows.
Fair enough. Go ahead and give yourself that effect.
Freaking Straw's just going all out on this first turn. Just the elemental fury of the monk.
Kill the big Perryton.
Let's go
Full.
with force.
Nice. You don't want
and
to deal
then
vitality
fire
damage?
blows. Probably not.
That's a tragedy. This is gonna be painful to look at. Here. Oh goodness.
I've never seen these. Oh my
Oh
God.
no, there's a nat 20 in there.
Oh, there's a nat
Jericho, you get
20.
flashbacks?
nice.
It's not an
Trying to
easy
show everybody
kill,
what you can do, huh?
but look at that blood splatter.
Did they both hit?
Only one.
This first one missed.
Can I re-roll that one with a hero point? I can't see where it is.
Sure, yeah, go ahead. It is 3 messages up in chat. It's the 19 right before the nat 20.
Oh, I see it.
And now, I don't believe you have... Do you have crit specialization for Flashing Spark yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you cannot do persistent fire damage instead. But go ahead and roll that additional damage. And we've got a fun little thing here where we can combine those damage rolls to be 58 damage. That's an insta-kill.
Jesus.
Nice.
As you
Insta-kill.
just wreathe your hands in flame, prepare yourself for battle, and with a single quick pair of blows, snap off both antlers of this Perryton, burst them into flames, and drive them back into the sides of its neck, killing it instantly.
I mean, I was a little worried at first. I didn't think he was going to do anything, but just sit there with his hands glowing.
I also thought that was going to happen.
What
Oh,
a way
I'm
to
so
intro
used
your
to
character.
monks just failing both rolls and then just being like, all right, well.
Oh boy. Well then. That, Alright, well, Crow, that brings us to you.
Step.
Jesus.
I'm going to grapple this one.
No, not the grapple.
Yeah! Get him,
No.
bro!
Why do you all do such a thing?
Slam
my
like bam!
Oh,
man,
and it's a
crazy
crit
success.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not the
And then I'm going
wrestler.
to follow that up with a trip.
That's just rude.
That's
like
just
my team is
awesome.
avenging me from almost dying.
This is bullying. You guys
This is
know
bullying.
this, right?
Oh,
Oh.
baby!
You picked the perfect one. You made him clumsy, so this is like perfect.
Yeah.
This is
It's like
just
the bear all
cruel.
over again.
You guys
So
know
I
this,
just
right?
I just step in and grab its head and just throw it on
Yeah,
the
just
ground.
yank it to the ground and like pin it in place with a knee. That brings us back to its turn. It's absolutely going to try and escape you with its first action here.
Well, that's all it can do.
Look, man. Oh god, it's clumsy too. Also, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So good.
The strategy is there. He might be a big crazy buffoon, but the strategy is there.
That is not a success with that.
-5 on the next one.
Yeah, and he
Wow.
quite literally cannot do anything else because the only attack action he can try and do is escape. He's gonna give one more. He's gonna give it the good old college try once more. Just cause I hit all the wrong buttons in my macro.
Could always crit,
He
right?
uses an anti-hero point.
No. I will typically remember to remind you guys when a villain has a villain point. But it's always going to be specific enemies, like major bosses and characters, as opposed to just any old schmuck.
And with a critical failure, you cannot try again.
Yep, I'm aware. So he's going to use his last action, just curse you out. He's just going to start
Can't talk.
screaming obscenities at you.
Yeah. He can't talk. It's funny.
So yeah, great turn for him. Gwynne, you're up.
So fun times. We're gonna shift imminence real fast into a Titan's Breaker. And we're gonna turn around. I'm gonna turn around to the Perryton that's right behind me, copying my shadow. And just gonna go, alright, Fracture Mountains.
Go for it.
Can't do it before. Damn. No, I missed. And I'm out of hero points. No.
Oh no! What a tragedy, Gwynne.
I just want to see what the damage would have been anyway. No, I'm not.
now-
Alright, well, return.
You did shift imminence.
Oh, I do get my
so you
brave. I do
can
get my brave.
stride if you would like.
Yes, I'm gonna stride here.
Okay.
That's
And I am going to shift it right back into eye-catching spot.
Now, I believe you can move 10 feet. It's up to half your speed, so I don't know if you wanted to go here and provide flanking for Zool.
Oh, that's true, yeah. I was like, oh, I'll give it to the monk who's coming up soon. I'm like, wait, no, Zool's like right next to me. Right after
it's,
me.
Zool, have fun.
Yep.
Scimitar.
You say that so matter-of-factly. Your dice hurt my eyes. I want you to know that.
Yeah, those
The
are.
yellow text on the yellow and red background. Well, with the flanking...
I'm
that
glad
Gwynne
I
gave you,
gave flanking.
Yeah, thanks, Gwynne.
If it weren't for that flanking, the crit would not have occurred there. Roll that damage. Oh, not the max damage. What? That's a lot.
Yeah,
Good.
and then so I have 2 actions left.
Yeah.
Eat a 1-action harm, bitch.
Just cuz.
yeah, just cuz.
We need. Do you not have the smite feat?
Not yet, it's level 4.
Ah. I'm so sorry. That's a natural 20 on their save.
Well,
Hey, he wasted it on a 1 action, so I'm happy with that.
Right. Fair enough. And you guys can have a decent idea of how awful their fortitude saves are now.
yep.
Let's see. And there we go. Alright, that's my turn.
Sorry, I'm just updating the bestiary with the general info you guys have on these goofballs so far. What you've definitely noticed, based off of your recall knowledges up until this point, this Perryton right here is your standard for a Periton. These other two that are still standing and fighting are a bit weaker and smaller than your everyday Peritons, more like runts of the litter almost. They're definitely a bit weaker than normal. But, Rog, that's going to bring us to you. And,
Right.
I believe the Clumsy runs out at this point, because it was only for one round.
He's restrained though, right?
Oh, yeah. He's still prone and
Okay.
restrained.
So then, since he's at disadvantage, the only really threat is the middle one at this current round. So I'm gonna briny bolt him.
Okay. Shooting from where you are, I will let you know they are going to have lesser cover, because you are shooting through your allies. So I don't
Okay.
know if you would like to move
I'd like
first.
to move then. Yeah, I'm gonna move.
I'd say if you move like anywhere on this side, or probably like around here or here, they wouldn't have any sort of cover against you from there.
I'd rather go away from the guy who
Yeah,
was killed.
that's perfect for no cover. You can shoot in between that
Cool.
way.
Thank you.
Go ahead and give me that attack roll. That's a good roll. Not the blinded for a round. Oh no.
Yeah, I was trying to debuff. That's where I was going for.
Damage too.
10
Yeah, and
damage,
exactly.
and because they're
Probably like
blind
Briny
and that's
Bolt.
their only sense, they are also going to be off guard for the duration.
Nice.
All
And then my
right.
last action will be to raise the shield once I find the button.
You had to move, so that was an action.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, cool. Then that's it. Thanks.
All right. That is going to bring us to this Periton right here that is currently blind and going to be flailing a bit wildly. Interestingly enough, their first action is going to be for something else entirely. I'm going to go ahead and roll their flat check here. DC 11 because they're blind, which is gonna fail. Fantastic. Okay. It takes them 2 actions to do so, but you all watch as this Periton, struggling to see, reaches down with its mouth and tears into the chest of the bigger one that Straze just killed, pulls out its heart and swallows it whole. This guy is going to regain 4 health from that. What an awful roll. And I will need everyone to give me a will save versus becoming frightened here.
There we go.
Hey, there's your good rolls, Gwynne. Uh-oh, Zool.
Oh, I'm hero pointing that.
Fair enough. Much better. It's an ugly sight and kind of disgusting, but none of this has been enough to actively scare any of you. With its last action, it is going to turn around and try and attack you, Gwynne, with its fangs.
Alright.
Make sure I've got everything here.
I think the tooth fairies have made us immune to a certain level of disgustingness.
You know what?
Prevent us from being
Fair
feared.
enough. But while they manage to target you successfully with their blindness, they fail to hit you because, unfortunately, ripping out and eating the heart of a corpse is an attack action.
Interesting.
So their map was pretty high there. Straze, back over to you.
All right, we're gonna move up, and we're gonna target this guy, and we're gonna flurry of blows.
Go for it.
Wrong button. This is the right button.
And he's off guard right now. No. Okay. A single hit through. I don't know if you'd like to hero point one of those. We are
let's
approaching the
go
end of
for
section
it.
here. All right. So the blindness making it hit. Love to see it. Those are,
Teamwork.
can you stop rolling
damage.
well on damage? My God.
No, keep rolling well on damage. This is awesome.
Look at the amount of blood that is fit over here.
Oh wait, I still had an action. What am I doing?
I don't know.
I will. Sorry. I'll just throw a dart at the other guy.
Sure.
Is it? Do I have
darts
to-
specifically? They are. they're
Do I have to
reload-
draw them?
I believe so, because they are reload
Okay.
0. But you do
Oh,
still
so I
have
could
to
just-
draw one to throw it.
Okay, no problem. I'll just draw and get it ready.
Sounds good. All right, Crow. That's going to bring us up to you, as you are holding this Perryton down right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-up my
Nothing's done.
grab on it.
Give me that athletics check.
Grapple.
Why are you guys bullying my my guys here? What's wrong with you?
Because it's fun.
Because it is.
This is how I made this character to work.
Yeah, he actually did that last time too with the big guys.
I'm aware.
And then he went down a hole, and I followed him on the
I've
hole.
got grappling trauma right
Fire.
now. Okay. Yeah, that'll succeed. Absolutely.
That's a fun
Plus
cat.
another crit.
That is. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's actually, no, that's not a crit.
I said it's close to.
Yeah, so unfortunately they're only going to be regularly grabbed now. The full restraint is over.
Yes.
Still can't stand up, but they can at least make attack actions.
And then I'm going to cast ignition and slam it with a melee.
Hey, that's mean.
That's fun to have a wrestling character.
That's a hit.
That's a hit.
And pretty damn good damage also. 12 points of fire damage is leaving this guy pretty damn rough. Thank you, game, for the flat check. Alright. That's going to bring us back to its turn, and probably the last turn it's ever going to get here. You know what?
It is prone and grapple.
Yeah. Wait. Please, stop.
They can-
Please, just let me go.
Oh, it's trying to negotiate?
Why?
Because I would like to live, that's why.
Don't kill it.
What do you
Where
have
Well,
in
are
mind?
more-
our friends?
Don't we? Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the rest of our people?
A lot of you are talking all at once. Please say that in one at a time.
Where
Number
are
two.
our friends?
Now, by friends, are you talking about
Green
who
people.
are currently traveling, or
Where's the other orcs from what would it be 2 days ago?
rotting?
Kill it.
Kill it.
See,
What do you have to offer your life? What do you have to offer?
My gratitude.
Not enough.
I kill it. Fuck this guy.
Doesn't really have much. Doesn't really want a bargain. Just wants to be free.
Just kill him.
Is going to spend all of his actions just like trying to buck into you, Crow, to injure you and free itself instead of trying to escape. And it is going to hit you with the first strike. But because they're prone, they don't get the crit. Oh boy.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's only 9 points of piercing damage to you.
Ooh.
And then they'll go with one more antler strike before trying to bite you. Miss the antler strike and miss the bite. You all, Gwynne, go smash its head in.
Yeah, we're gonna just go right over, and we're gonna. Well, it's. God damn it! I'm not in the right imminence.
You're not gonna flank?
You can give your. You could have gave yourself.
It doesn't matter if you
It
flank
doesn't
or
matter
not.
because it's prone, and
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
we
It's
are still
grappled
gonna
and
switch
prone.
into Titan's Breaker though
sure.
for that extra bit of damage.
Come on, Gwen, you got this.
God fucking damn it!
Gwynne.
And we're
Are
gonna
you
go for
zero
that last
point?
strike. I don't have any more. Hey, there we go.
Nice.
There it
I
is.
hate to tell you this,
Nice.
Gwynne, if you had to stride and then shift imminence,
Oh, fuck, you're right.
I'm so sorry.
You only
God
got the
damn
one
it.
hit. Yeah.
Wait, so he didn't have the actions for it?
Technically, he didn't have the action for a second attack there.
God damn it.
Exemplar's action economy gets real wonky sometimes when you take into account
Yeah.
shifting imminence.
Yeah, I forgot.
But
Fuck.
rule of cool, fuck it. Squish the
Yeah.
Barrington.
Easy.
Yeah.
It was definitely a free
Rolling.
hero point that Erica was so nice to give
It
me.
wasn't going to survive all of you. Let's be
No, there
completely
was 3
fair
of us
here.
in a row. Yeah, 3 of us in a row with like 8.
If
Yeah.
I was in Titans Breaker, I was gonna
Just smash.
wait. Wait, no, I actually could have done it. I realized I could have done it. Action economy wise. Because I have
if you had just
powerful
shifted.
leap. Because I
Oh.
powerful leap shift to imminent shift because it's in my body. Shift it into Titan's Breaker, and that's how I have 2 actions. Because leap is 1 action.
Does leap
I'm
let
going to
you
cast
shift
Guardian
imminence?
Healing and get everyone back up to full.
Yeah,
So leap is
absolutely.
one
Thank
of
you.
my I have leap the falls, which is one of my imminences.
Ah, you got leap the falls. Nice.
Yeah, there it is.
This is a really good
Well, it's an
after
imminence, not a
combat healing.
transcendence, so it doesn't auto
Yeah.
shift your icon.
That's why I switched to this being
It's
my
fine.
my focus spell.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'll drop healing while we only have a couple like ranks, and as I get more ranks, I'll like have some backup. But to get more damage and debuffs, I'll drop my healing spell for the future.
I mean, this is good for after combat.
Garden of
Yeah,
Healing is
yeah, but
cracked for outside of
We have
combat
2 other
healing.
people
It
that
is
are really
cracked.
good.
Because that's 20
Did you drop it
D4
yet?
health, so pretty much everyone can just heal to full.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, pretty full, actually.
I don't know if you want to do the type up for it manually, Rog, to actually roll the dice and see it, but with how uninjured most of you are at this point, that's more than enough to heal everyone.
Yeah, Gwynne and Zool actually healed me to full before.
Beautiful.
Yeah, 53.
Basically on death score.
Jesus
So
Christ.
as you all smash and destroy these 3 Paradines, even though one of them got the jump on you and almost immediately gored Rog down to a very critical state, and Gwynne and Crow both took some minor injuries that were pretty easily healed after the fact. 3 Paradines like this aren't much of a threat to you all coming through and prepared for them. But you can probably see how a whole flock of Paradines, when there was only one individual that was trained for combat, may or may not have been ambushed, wouldn't
He was
have
drunk, too.
survived.
He was definitely drunk too from celebrating. Or
Probably a
hungover.
bit drunk, yeah.
Yeah, you listen. I don't care how many Paratons are not going to get the hands up on an orc. I don't care. So he's got to be like drunk or maybe he fell over or something.
But as these 3 Paratons fall dead at your feet, and you will take a minute to center yourselves, accept Crow's healing magic to ensure all of your wounds are fully recovered.
And then I will refocus after that minute.
Yep, if the group's okay with taking 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll refocus too.
I was gonna say, for humans, you guys are pretty good. I like you guys. You guys got green skin as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know me myself. I don't see color.
Jesus.
I'm gonna break off the antlers off of this one.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I'm
And
gonna
I'm
do
gonna
that on the
chop the
bottom.
antlers off of one too.
The hunter who we went on the last one, she helped teach me how to dress down an animal. So I'm gonna dress down this bottom animal, the normal Paragon, and also like take the antlers and everything else I can.
Sure. Yeah, if you guys want to spend a little bit of time while Crow and Straze are refocusing to dress down some of the corpses, break off the antlers for yourselves, you guys are more than welcome to do that.
Is there an actual refocus button, or do I just add it manually?
You just manually re-add your hero points.
Okay, no problem. I already did that then.
But with all that being said, as you accomplish this and the remainder of Broken Spears lies ahead of you, and feasibly the leader and remaining members of this flock of Perytons that seem to have been responsible for the deaths of not just a number of regular orcs, but also a potential friend. That's where we're going to end our session for tonight.
All right.
Thank you all so much for playing. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next week.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It was a great time, guys. Nice to meet you all.
Thank
Nice
you.
to
Nice to
meet
meet
you
you,
as
too,
well.
man.